think most Americans, when we think about health, we think about medical care. We think about access to medical care, the quality of care that we receive. But the scientific research is very clear that where we live, learn, work, and play have more to do with our health than going to a doctor. So when we talk about health and what can be done to promote health, we really need to think about the factors and the places where we spend most of our time and the opportunities or barriers in those places to lead a healthy lifestyle. Does your neighborhood have access to a full-service grocery store where you can get access to fruits and vegetables? Is your
in the areas that are lighter around University City, lower rates of obesity, and look at all the healthy food sources. Yeah. So all the produce carts, the supermarkets, the farmers markets. And when you go back to these areas that have higher rates of obesity, you see many fewer sources of healthy food.
Wondering, why are obesity rates increasing, and how did this become such a problem? Well, recent studies show that energy-dense foods composed of refined grains, added sugars, and fats oftentimes provide the lowest cost option for consumers. One study found that each additional 100 grams of fats and sweets actually reduced diet costs by 7 to 54 cents per day, whereas each additional 100 grams of fruits and veggies increased diet costs by 24 to 39 cents per day. Access to a grocery store versus a convenience store impacts both diet choices and expenses. Research indicates that grocery stores offer more healthy food options compared to food marts or convenience stores. For example, one study found that 75 to 100% of grocery stores carry low or non-fat milk, apples, high-fiber bread, and eggs, whereas only 4 to 29% of convenience stores offer similar options. Studies also show substantial cost increases for consumers who buy the limited healthy food options available at convenience stores. A banana at a convenience store such as 7-Eleven costs 79 cents. A 7-Eleven apple will run you $1.06. Just make sure that the jeering donuts don't draw you in first. At a supermarket like Publix, on the other hand, each banana is only about 28 cents and an apple will cost you 80. Over the course of a year, a consumer who eats a banana and an apple a day could save over $285 simply by buying from a grocery instead of a convenience store.
People in low-income neighborhoods are more likely to live in so-called food deserts, neighborhoods with limited access to large grocery stores that sell fresh produce. Instead, there's a proliferation of fast food restaurants and corner stores with lots of cheap junk food.
I try to keep my kitchen clean, keeping the dishes together. And like I said, they come in and it's a hustle and bustle trying to get them a snack.
You got practice? Where you get that from? Come here.
You got a game today?
Nikki, her husband, and their 6 children live in a public housing apartment complex on Cleveland's Near East Side.
There you go. It really is heartbreaking because of me trying to look like at the end of the month, my kids, they are hungry, they want a snack. But I don't have that all the time. And it really hurts my feelings not to have that all the time because they'll be hungry, you know, and they need that energy. You don't know the story, so how can you judge? Like, how can you look with a judge on your face?
The truth is, people who live in poor neighborhoods are more likely to be obese than those from higher income areas. Food deserts are another issue. The term refers to poor access to fresh and healthy food. Nikki lives on the edge of one. If you live in a food desert and you're hungry, the closest place to eat is often a fast food restaurant or convenience store.
University Hospital's Otis Moss Jr. Health Center. Dr. Harwell, you treat a lot of low-income patients right in the middle of one of these so-called food deserts.
Absolutely. Yes, my practice is in the Fairfax community, which is primarily African American and lower income individuals.
We saw the point there that many people in neighborhoods like Fairfax and other parts of Cleveland and the country do suffer because of the food desert system, the way it's put together, the way that they don't have food to go to. And it does lead to obesity.
It does. I mean, when you don't have access to the healthier foods and the things that could really make a difference in your choices in terms of what how you prepare your meals, then that's a problem if you don't have access to that.
It's really a struggle for people like Nikki trying to do the right thing.
Right, and she is. She's trying to do the right thing. She's making some healthy choices. You know, she's picking frozen vegetables over canned. I mean, there are some substitutions. There's some little things that you can do, but when you're on a fixed income and you're in a food desert, I mean, the choices become hard.
I don't want to be fat for the rest of my life. I've got diabetes,
sleep apnea,
high blood pressure.
I get dizzy when I get up.
Everything's hurting now.
We don't now take this as a really serious, urgent national priority. We are, all of us individually and as a nation, going to pay a really serious price.
This red circle reflects the proportion of kids that are overweight or obese. Look at the difference between that circle and this tiny little circle in Irvine. And all of this yellow, which reflects relatively high rates of wealth, right next door to these deep pockets of poverty, overweight, and obesity.
So what is happening here is that we have data that can document that not everybody have the same resources to fight diseases. And at the end, the epidemics are reduced to the pockets of poverty.
There's no healthy places in my neighborhood.
In poor neighborhoods, there are many more posters and billboards and, outdoor advertising for food that you don't see in wealthy neighborhoods.
As people become less active, they gain weight. As they gain weight, they become less active, and less active, they gain more weight. And so it's a negative spiral.
Is it safe to walk outside in the day? Does your neighborhood have access to green spaces and to parks and to safe places to walk?